My name is David Quin Seifert, but I just go by Quinn. I graduated my undergrad last May, so May of 2025 from Anderson University. I'm currently doing grad school at Clemson, downtown Greenville, and we're going to be wrapping up. It's a one-year program, so I'll be done August of 2026. In all honesty, it was my dad. So he did accounting his whole life. He's still doing accounting. He worked for the city of Greer. That was the majority of his career. He was the CFO there, spent 20 plus years, absolutely loved his career, loved accounting. And he's now since retired from the city. He's working in another accounting capacity, but I was applying to Anderson and have to declare a major, and then like before or as you're applying, and he said, like, I was asking, I don't really know what I want to do. I know I love math, I love numbers. Should I do mathematics? And he was recommending, he's like, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, and I can tell you what to major in. But he's like, I started math, realized that mathematics isn't what I loved. I love the numbers portion, but I like far more than just for the numbers end. And that's when he was like, I ended up switching to accounting. So I did same thing. I just tried to jump ahead and skip the math like he did and just start in accounting. Absolutely loved it. Like I said, spent 3 years at Anderson. It was amazing. I wanted to continue my education, like I said, getting my master's, and I've had zero regrets thus far. I could say the first time I heard of it, because I mean, my father's been a member for so long, so I've heard it tossed around the household probably more times than I can count. The first meeting I went to, I think I was freshman at Anderson, so I guess it was 3 years ago. They did a meeting for the Piedmont chapter at spare time, and it was a huge benefit just to get to network with a lot of professionals in the field, a lot of students that are wanting to get into public accounting, wanting to be a part of the membership. Outside of that, I mean, like I said, the connection, the network is amazing, and then of course complete gratitude for the scholarship being provided. It helped significantly at my time at Anderson, as well as my final year at Clemson. I haven't done any CPEs yet, of course, because not a CPA quite yet. I did pass my last section, so very close, but as it relates to the CPE benefits, have not been able to make use of those. But from the networking perspective, it's fantastic. It means a lot. I mean, SCAPA it's a big society, right? South Carolina. I'm very proud to be from the state, very proud to be part of society, and very proud to have won the scholarship. I put a lot of effort, a lot of thought, a lot of heart into the essay when applying. A lot of it spoke about, my father and how I was proud of him, proud to be his son, proud to be following in his footsteps, proud to be in the field of accounting. But when I found out both times, I was ecstatic. Yeah, I mean, to know that a little bit of burden is taken off by the generosity of the state society. It's a huge help, huge benefit. Yeah, I honestly can't be thankful enough. Probably to be blunt, to be frank, just the career advancement. I've heard many people say accounting is a great field and there's much need, but if you just major in accounting, you just get the degree and you jump into the field without the intent of getting the certification, you're going to be very limited in how far you can go. I like to think I'm very driven and I want to achieve as much as I can. So knowing that is a stepping stone that must be crossed to achieve as much as you can in the field of accounting, it almost felt like I don't want to say it was just a box that had to be checked. It was definitely a stepping stone, an accomplishment that I knew had to be done. That's why I was putting my mind to it. Like, I want to knock this out. I want to be certified. I want to be licensed, and so I can accelerate as far as I can, as fast as I can. I actually just got married back in October. So we just moved into our house here in Greenville, and it is a fixer-upper. So when it's not the most fun hobby, but the most realistic hobby is we spend almost all of our free time renovating the house. So we're currently working on my home office. So just to give a little reference point. But yeah, it's not the most fun, but it's been a blessing to get to spend time with my wife of I guess 3 months now. Study snack is definitely gotta be coffee. I just recently got an espresso machine because I I like the finer things when it comes to coffee. So yeah, and a little weird thing about me, I know most people like vanilla or caramel, maybe mocha. I have a very interesting flavor for my like lattes. I like lavender. I know it's weird. Tastes like you're drinking a flower, but I enjoy it. It's my go-to thing. And contrary to most people, I don't really like popcorn, so that's definitely not a go-to snack. Um, Krispy Kreme always has deals running, like buy one get one. So love to get a dozen donuts. Oh, and then playlists. I don't really have a go-to playlist. I do have a couple artists. So when I'm listening to Christian music, I love Josiah Queen. And then when I'm listening to more contemporary, I like Alex Warren. I'd love to go see one of his concerts one day. I know my wife's a huge fan, so hoping to catch one of his concerts at some point in the future. I think the first one I'd probably say is Driven. That's just because a lot of people have said that about me. Basically, from my first year at Anderson, I kind of set in my mind I want to graduate undergrad in 3 years so I can get the master's that I know I want and still be in the normal 4-year period, because I didn't want to, knowing that like my wife and I were high school sweethearts, so we've been together for a while, and I knew that her degree was 4 years. I didn't want to do a 4-year degree and then have another year after where I'm in school and she's working. So I was like, I know I want to get the master's. I want to try to fit it. So I was like, it was a matter of cramming to get as many. I was doing as many credit hours they basically let me do every semester, so I can work towards getting the degrees I want done. I started the CPA prep about half a year, probably sooner than most of my cohorts. So like at Clemson, a lot of them just took FAR, and they're waiting to hear back. So they're at FAR and they're studying for audit. Like I said, I found out mid-December that I just passed my last one, which was ISC. So a little ahead of the game, but all credit to my friends and family who supported me while I had many nights cramming. So Driven, I guess volunteerism, potentially. I mean, I like whenever there's anything going on at the church, I like to get out there and help with whatever it is. I find it tons of fun, especially like youth activities. No matter what it is, I like to jump in. Like community outreach is like such a huge thing at our local church, and I said, huge thing. I really enjoy it. That's probably the best hobby that I have. Outside of that, maybe investing. So not just the people, or not just like the money side, but the people. I like to invest in the people around me. I like to try to spend time that I can with them. I like to, I guess my biggest thing is I'm really big on delayed gratification. So I kind of correlate these two, investing with delayed gratification. I'm always comfortable doing the hard things now to try to enjoy and set up for a much more enjoyable time later. So maybe that would have been a better word, but I kind of like to think investing has more with it. But positive out, I mean, that's a big task. Right? I like to think I'll be able to. It also depends on what you think positive outlook means. When you're talking about public accounting, I mean, I want to be able to give clean audits, sure, but that doesn't mean it's a positive outcome. I mean, I definitely want to stay involved in SCAPA. I know there's a lot of little things. Like the first meeting I went to is SCAPA. I remember there were, I think, 4 or 5 speakers who spoke about their experiences across multiple things public accounting, so whether that's like actually in the industry or studying for the exams, getting licensed with the board. They just kind of gave all sorts of life advice in the life of public accounting. So I love to be able to do something like that and share advice, try to help others and help the pipeline. I know a big thing that's scary is the work-life balance in public accounting. So if I can help shed light on it not being as awful as it sounds, and that accounting is a great industry to get into. There's going to be very hard times. Just keep pushing on. It's so worth it and it's so gratifying. More specific, and this is where a lot of debate comes in. I think it's great that we now have multiple pathways in the state of South Carolina, and I think it's really important to recognize that there's different different pros and cons, and everyone's different. Everyone's lives, different, everyone's circumstances are different. But I would definitely like impress hard on them, like taking the time to figure out, because I think it's the biggest difficulty in public accounting right now is the timeline. I think my first internship, like you're applying like a year and a half in advance, so it seems kind of overbearing to think, man, I'm planning my life out like years before things are happening, and it's kind of scary. But as it relates to CPA licensure, which I think most people that are in accounting, I would think from the cohort that I had, most of the people that were studying accounting were going into public. Of course, there were others that were going corporate or didn't want to get the license. I'm not saying that that's an end all be all, but from my experience of people I've been around, most were wanting to. I think it's really important to weigh the benefits and realize, well, grad school can be great and it can be the perfect route for you, or maybe the 2 years of experience and undergrad is better. I think way too many people kind of just make a quick decision and they're like, oh, I definitely don't want to do master's, or I'm a little afraid to go into public accounting right now. I want to do another year to master's. I mean, they're so quick to make the decision and they just kind of lock in on it. I think it's really valuable to just take some time, weigh the pros and cons, cost benefit analysis. I think that's just one of the biggest things that's happening in accounting right now, other than the reclassification of accounting as a professional degree, and that's a whole different topic of conversation. But yeah, as it relates to advice, I would definitely say think hard and on the different pathways and what's the best for each individual. I'm extremely grateful to the members and the board and everyone over at South Carolina Association CPAs. Y'all have been great to me, and again, I'm extremely appreciative. You've been so supportive of my educational pursuits, and I hope I can continue to give back in whatever capacity is possible.